Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Headlines Today. I'm Biresh. Some startling insinuations have come from across the border for the second time in 2 years. Only this time, the insinuations are more specific. According to former Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Gohar Ayub Khan, an Indian brigadier sold Pakistan the Indian Army's war plans for rupees 20,000 in the 1950s. And if his insinuations are followed closely, that brigadier is none other than India's first Field Marshal, Sam Manekshaw. Therefore, is there any truth whatsoever in these allegations, or is Gohar Ayub Khan just firing blanks? We find out in our special program. Alright, so that's Gohar Ayub Khan for you, former foreign minister in the Nawaz Sharif government. To discuss this entire issue and all these insinuations or allegations, whatever you like to call them, I am joined now in the studio by Major General Ashok Mehta, defense expert. General Mehta, thank you so much for joining us. And also with us, a very special guest, Marshal of the Indian Air Force, first Marshal of the Indian Air Force, Marshal Arjun Singh, joins us also on the program. Marshal Arjun Singh, of course, Distinguished Flying Cross winner in the Burma campaign in World War II and Chief of Air Staff during the 1965 war. Pleasure to have you with us, Marshal Arjun Singh. If I can begin with you first, these allegations, these insinuations by Gohar Ayub Khan, you've obviously heard of them. What is your first reaction to them? Can Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw actually do such a thing?
Well, quite apparently, Mr. Gohar Khan has, after 50 years, thought of making all these allegations, which I feel are quite unfounded. And I also feel that these are sensational statements, I think mainly to probably sell his book all over the subcontinent.
Right, a book-selling ploy. That's what Marshal Arjun Singh believes. General Mehta, what do you believe? Is it just a ploy to sell his book? Now, these allegations came up in 2005, although that time they were specific to the point that he said these war plans actually helped Pakistan in the 1965 war. And just a few days back, these allegations that have come up, these are specific in terms of almost naming the officer, but not referring to the 1965 war. So a bit of a change in statements over 2 years?
No, I don't think so. As far as the 65 war is concerned, the plans that he refers to are plans of the 50s, early 50s. And assuming that those plans were given to Pakistan, then their performance in the 65 war was abysmal, assuming that they had the plans. So obviously those plans were not with them. And in any case, plans that are made in the 50s, operational plans are dynamic plans.
Correct.
They change with the operational situation, with the change of field commanders, with the change of army chiefs. So a lowly DMO who is merely the custodian of those operational plans is even if he passes those plans to Pakistan, as is alleged and preposterously alleged in this book, it has very little value, because today's plans will not apply 2 or 3 years on.
Military plans are constantly changing, they are dynamic, and of course there are a couple of scenarios that everybody thinks of, but then they keep changing depending on the situation. We'll get back to you, General Mehta, but Marshal Arjun Singh, I'd like to come back to you on that. Now, you were Chief of Air Staff during 1965. Did at any point of time it appear to you that the Pakistanis had a bit of an edge, a bit of an upper hand as far as air operations, or for that matter army operations were concerned? Did it at any point of time appear that the Pakistanis knew Indian battle plans?
Well, you are quite right. In 1965, I was dealing with the management of the operations at a higher level, and I never got the impression that they knew what we were going to do.